I am so glad you asked this question because yes, 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 there are closeted women, especially in the church. Oh my gosh, when I was growing up, I had a relative, she would always downplay, well, a lot of them would greatly say, don't date men, don't do this, don't do that. And a lot of it comes from what they're doing already, meaning they're laying up with some guy, some rando or whatever, and they have hardships with men because they pick terrible men. So that would be a thing. And I had an aunt who's my grandmother's sister. She's like, well, if you don't date boys, what are you supposed to do? Date girls? And so it was a lot of gaslighting that went on with that situation. And I'm going to say this right now. I want to apologize to any man I gave advice to in my 20s and my early 30s because I was not aware that women were out here gaslighting men the way they do, and deceit and like evil, the trickery of it all. And I didn't know this until I actually dated a woman. And not something I would unlikely do again because and it wasn't even long. It was like less than 90 days. But with a narcissist psychopath person, they can only, keep a face of something for a period of time anyway. And the things this woman did that I was like, so this is what men are going through. And I had no idea. And I literally would be like, oh, that woman's not that bad. So I'm going to say this to you right now. Do not ask women who have substance and morals about women doing trickery, because when I was younger, I didn't know about that because honestly, I wasn't doing it. So why would I know about it? So I would be defending women who were very much evil because I wouldn't even think a woman would do that because I was just like, oh, she talks to me and she's cool, and I now literally am, it's a case by case basis. Just like all men aren't the same, all women are not the same. So if that makes me not a girl's girl because I hold women accountable, then I'm not one. This woman, I'm thankful because she exposed the women in my life. Like, these fake friends, just all the things she did that I was like, wait. So if you literally are dealing with women who are disrespecting you, it's a sign of, or anything, when you keep dealing with the same things, it's a sign of these types of people are in your life, whether they're related to you, your friends, and they're doing the things. That's why you're having the lesson. And my lesson just kept getting louder. Men have never done what this woman did, ever. And the thing was because I would never tolerate it from a man. And the only reason, it was just like, when you deal with women, you deal with trauma. You're like, oh, trauma. I have my own trauma. That doesn't make you act like that. And if it does, then you need to be alone and deal with your trauma and, heal. Not take it out on other people. That's not okay. And I don't even use profanity with people I'm with, or definitely not physical. So it was just like, oh my goodness. You want me? It was just like this person was doing everything they could to get me to react in a very violent way. And I was like, oh my goodness, you think I'm a man? It was just weird. And it was just like, I don't do any of these things. So when I say yes, but they will disrespect you. And as a woman in my 40s now, I can say things with experience. But before, I had not been with a woman. I didn't know anything about that because the thing is, you don't know about somebody unless you're intimate with them. That's why if I have questions about a man, I'm going to ask women. If I have questions about women, I ask men. Because men have been through things. I was in a divorce group of men and they're very successful and they didn't date anymore. And I was just like, oh my goodness, and it was just like, I get it now. I had to apologize. So if you're seeing this and we were in group together, I apologize. If you're still celibate and single, you go, boy. I get it. I now, because I'm like, yeah, nothing. Like, I can now see this woman open my eyes. I'm very grateful that she did. It took pain. And I swore to myself, never again will I have to learn through pain. So when someone tells me something like this, I'm like, I believe you. Because men are not heard. And they should be. There are lots of women out here doing things that are completely unsacked. That I'm like, no, that's not okay. And because I'm not that way doesn't mean other women are. You know what I mean? Like they roll with it. They're throwing, I don't do any of those things. And I was just like, wow. So you do this, you do that, and it's just like, yeah, I couldn't relate to so many things. And now that I'm just like aware, I'm just like, this is why I don't relate. And this is why I date these type of people and I deal with this type of situations, because I've been a girl this entire time, come to find out. But yeah,